Hey guys, my name's Charlie, and today I made these insulated window covers for my van, which is a Ram 1500 ProMaster. I got this video idea from Erin Michelle on YouTube, so I'm going to go ahead and link her video down below. These are fold-up ones that just are magnetic right up to the window. There's a nice inch of metal around the window itself, so that black part that you see has these really strong magnets in it, and just sticks right on the window when you plop it up there, and it's really easy to pull down as well. So next I'm going to show you guys the materials that you'll need. This first stuff is called Reflectix. I'm going to link everything down below. This stuff was kind of hard to find. You can order it on Amazon, but they don't have it on Prime, so I did get it at Lowe's. The next stuff is this 2-inch black webbing. Again, got it on Amazon. I'm going to link it down below. But it is 2 inches, which is important. Hot glue gun, essential, unless you like to sew. A tape measure. This is 100% polyester blackout curtain that I got at Walmart. And then these are the magnets that I'm using. I also ordered these on Amazon and I got them from that video that Erin posted. A scissor and a lighter. A good first step to do is measure the window. So my window was 23 inches tall and 22 inches wide. So here I'm showing it finished again and just really emphasizing the fact that those slits in between are the space between the panels. So you take the Reflectix material and you want to cut it all to be those panels. So because my window was 22 inches wide, I'm just cutting this Reflectix to be exactly 22 inches wide. And then because my window was about 23 inches long, I just did 23 divided by 4, and it's about 5.5. So you want each panel to be about 5.5 inches, but then taking into consideration those little spaces that you want in between the panels in order for the whole thing to be able to fold, I estimated about 1/2 inch in between each, so I just ended up making each panel 5 inches tall and then again 22 inches wide. So then once you're finished cutting them, you will have 4. If your window is the same size as mine, in the video that I watched, she had 5. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the bottom piece and the top piece, and I'm just taking a little razor or X-Acto knife, whatever you have, and cutting around the edges so that it's rounded on the corners. And then you want to make sure that they're a good height so that you do have those spaces in between. So now you're going to take whatever material you're using. I recommend 100% polyester because that's what was in the video that I watched. I don't really know what another material would do, but this is also Blackout, like I mentioned earlier, which I think is a good idea. So then I'm just going to take all the pieces that I cut, lay them on top of the fabric, and go ahead and cut around it. I would say cut about 2 or 3 inches outside of where the pieces are laying, because you always want to measure twice and cut once. Once it's time to grab your glue gun, you'll realize that you only have 2 hands. So sometimes your feet get involved, and that's okay. Basically, just hot glue the back of the Reflectix and stick it on the fabric until, voila, you're finished with that step. And then you're going to lay the bottom half of your fabric onto a flat surface. You're just going to take what you already finished, stick it on top, and cut around it again. Again, measure twice, cut once. Once you have that second piece cut to about the same size, you're going to lay it over top and go ahead and hot glue that second piece to all the panels as well. So there's one on the bottom and one on the top. And then, being the genius that I am, I realized that if you take something flat, push down on it, just use it every time you lay the fabric over the Reflectix to kind of smear it in. It'll keep the fabric a lot flatter. Congratulations, you made it one step closer to being finished. At this point, you realize that this project is a lot bigger than you imagined. After you've got both sides glued to your panels, you're just going to cut around it. This time, just leave an inch do your best to make it an inch. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be covering it with that black webbing, but just do that around the whole perimeter. Here I'm just showing that the edges totally don't have to be perfect, but you do want it to be close to an inch. Now you're going to take that black webbing, lay it around the whole thing, and give yourself a little bit extra because you are going to have some of this left over. You don't want to make it too short. And then when you cut it, just go ahead and burn the edges because it does fray a bit. Now it's time to grab your magnets. This is where things get a little complicated, but basically you're just going to take the black webbing, lay it underneath the fabric right up to where the reflectics start, about an inch. So you're going to have an inch underneath it and an inch out. I hot glued underneath it all the way across first and pushed it down. It is hot though, so if you're using hot glue like I did, just be careful. So when you're using your magnets, you want to make sure that you place them where the panel is, not where those spaces are, so that you can fold it right. So now it's time to fold the other inch of the black webbing over the top of your fabric. So I started around the corner and I'm just folding it over, and then when it comes up to where the panel is, like when I pass that first space in between the first panel and the second panel, I'm gonna lay some hot glue down, lay the magnet on it, and then fold the inch of the black webbing over the magnet. Going around the corners is pretty tricky. Just do the best you can. Mine totally weren't perfect. I didn't really have any sort of technique to making it go around the corners. I just accepted where it was going to fold and just went with it. So I put 2 magnets on each side, 3 on the top and then 2 on the bottom. And when it came time to cutting the webbing, again, just make sure that you burn it. Just cut it down. Again, it's totally not going to be perfect. Would you look at that? You have a very wrinkly window cover. This is why I said try to keep the fabric straight. That was a side that I didn't realize I could use the purple stuff to flatten it down, but it still works. It's something that you made yourself and it's not going to be professional looking, but it does its job and that's all that matters. And that is the end of that. Thank you for watching. You've made it this far. If you decide to make some of your own, I'm going to leave my Instagram handle at the end. Go ahead and take a picture and tag me in it. I'd love to see them. And make sure to check back for more videos because I do plan on filming the whole conversion journey as well as my travels after I'm all finished.